Welcome to my channel. Start off and just pretty much giving a brief introduction of myself so people know who I am. My name is Ty Dames. I currently live in LA. I am a realtor and I'm trying to aspire to be a YouTuber. So that's just a little brief introduction. I was born in Long Beach and I was raised in the high desert. And I'm 21, about to turn 22 next month. So there's my brief introduction to myself. So in this video, I'm going to be going through a couple different topics about what it's like, the atmosphere, the hours, the hiring process, and everything of that sort. So just come back from the gym, so forgive, what I'm wearing. Number one, applying. Applying was probably the most fastest application process. I applied, I want to say November 13th, and I got hired November 14th, the very next day. I went on there and I seen they were actually hiring for $20 an hour. So I was like, oh, cool, let me apply. So I applied, and literally the very next day they emailed me and was like, hey, we seen your application. We want to let you know that you got the job, and go ahead and just fill out some paperwork and we'll give you a call when that's all finished. So the hiring process was super simple. I didn't think I was going to get hired that quick, but I did. Red flag, right? Anyway, so the hiring process on that went by super quick, super fast. But he calls you and they pretty much tell you, what the dress code is, what hours you want to work. So when you're applying, there's 4 types of shifts that you can apply for. So you have sunrise sort, which is 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. or something like that. And then you have the morning, which is the one I applied for, which is 8 to 12. And then we have the evening sort, which is 2 to 6 or 7 or something like that. And I think they have a night sort as well. But the one I applied for specifically was the morning sort because I am an early bird. So I definitely, wanted to just go wake up, 4 or 5 hours of work, come home and just have the rest of my day to, spend on and do whatever I need to do. So the morning sort definitely worked out in my favor. But there are other shifts that you can pick up, depending on how your schedule works for you. The hiring process, like I said, it was pretty simple. After you fill out all your documentation, the girl calls you, she just confirms that, whatever shift that you picked, are you able to, manage to stay on that for I want to say the duration of the period that you're hired for. Dress code. The dress code is very simple. You can literally wear anything as long as you have boots. That's literally the dress code. The dress code is just boots. Steel toe preferably, but you don't have to have steel toe. When I was working, I did not have steel toes. I just had some regular brown boots. I'll show you guys my boots actually real quick. These are the boots that I got. I forget, these are called lugs. I got these from, where did I get these from? I got these from Big Sporting 5 Goods, or Big 5 Sporting Goods. I think that's what it's called. I got these from Big 5 Sporting Goods for about 35 bucks, and they lasted me the entire time I was there. Also got this Levi's jacket from Costco for like 35 bucks. So pretty much my entire uniform was 70 bucks. Now this wasn't required, you don't need a work jacket, but specifically for the work that I was going in, I knew I was gonna be in the morning in a warehouse and in the winter time, so I just wanted to make sure I was warm. And I didn't really wanna wear none of my other nicer jackets. So I do recommend, if you're going, into a warehouse job, to get any kind of work jacket. Mine is Levi's, just a nice thick jacket. So, when you're running around, you're doing things, you're not messing up, your nicer jacket. So I do recommend that for sure. So let's talk about the first week. So your first week on the job, you're gonna go through orientation. By the way, guys, the parking lots are massive. So at least mine was. I worked at the 2nd largest UPS warehouse in the United States. So my parking lot was really big. So it was very hard for me finding a parking lot, especially on my first day. But don't panic. A lot of people are coming in throughout the day. So just make sure you try to be there, at least a little bit on time, maybe try to get there 5-10 minutes before, just to try to designate that time to finding a good parking spot, because they will be packed. They say to bring 2 forms of identification. So for me, I brought my passport and I brought my driver's license. That should be good. You don't really need nothing else. So pretty much, once you get there, it's pretty simple. You just there, you listen to, one of the leads talk, and she's just telling you about, what UPS is, and then you get this thick packet that you have to go through and you have to sign off, and pretty much just sign your life away to the warehouse. So the first day is pretty much you just signing papers, and then you get split up into groups, and then you have a designated lead, and then you just go through, you just watch videos. And that's pretty much the first week, I would say. The first week, you're not really in the warehouse. You're just in a room where you're learning about the warehouse and about safety and how to pick up a box. That's one thing that UPS is very keen on. They really want you to know how to pick up a box. For me, they said that, we were gonna be tested on how to pick up a box. We were never tested. But they do tell you these things, obviously, so you can prepare yourself regardless if they do or do not decide to test you. The first week was very, very simple though, very easy. You take this test on the last day, and everybody in our room passed. I'm not sure if they just said that because they're like, I don't really want to fail nobody. They say that if you don't pass, you have to retrain and you have to get like a 90% or higher. Because the first time you take the test, I want to say you have to get a 75 to pass. And then if you don't pass that, you have to retake it. But this time you have to get a 90. And it's open book. Everything is open book. Like I said, they give you a packet. So you just flip through the packet and everything is pretty simple from there. So the first week is pretty much just training. Also do tell you to bring water. That is a main key at working at UPS, guys. Make sure to bring water. I would recommend getting a canteen of some sort and filling it up every day before you go to work, just because they do have stations where you can refill your water at. Unless you want to bring a water bottle, but who wants to drink room temperature water? At least I don't. Hydration is a big key at working at UPS. And even for myself, like, I don't really get, dehydrated that quickly, but I was feeling times where like your mouth would get dry because of the dust and everything. You just want some water there to really, keep you going throughout the shift. Let's talk about the atmosphere. The atmosphere is very much so like what you would think a warehouse is. It's not all glitz and glamorous. My certain warehouse, it was a lot of cool people. I would say it's cool. It's cool people there. It's pretty much just whoever you want to associate yourself around. Just try to make at least 1 to 2 friends. Just talk around. The age gap, I want to say ages from like 19 all the way up to like 60s, 70s even. When I was there, I was talking to people who were in their 30s, 40s, 50s. 20s. I was talking to people younger than me, and I'm 21, so I was talking to people who were 19, and so it's really just a big age pool working at UPS. Obviously, you're just throwing boxes around. It doesn't need to be a certain age gap for that, but I met a lot of cool people. Your bosses, at least my bosses were very chill. Fun fact, I was actually late my first very day that we went onto the floor, because the whole week leading up to us going on the floor, they never told us when we were actually gonna go on the floor. So we were just training consistently in this room. And I think one day I just kind of underestimated traffic, and I pulled up and I was trying to find a parking spot, and it was so packed, and I ended up walking, and I walked to the room to go to train. There was nobody in there. And the security officer came up, because she guards like the little rooms. And she was like, "Are you looking for your group?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Oh yeah, they're not here." I was so nervous. So I walked around, and I ended up finding Nathan in another room, and he was like, "Oh yeah, go find Clarence." And I'm like, "Oh man." So I went down, talked to Clarence, and he was real cool about it. He was like, "Oh man, it's all good. What's up, man? Let me just go ahead and teach you." It's very simple. They just teach you how to pretty much, like I said, lift up a box. Don't lift like this. Make sure to lift with your back straight, bend your knees, and it's pretty simple. So as far as the warehouse goes, as far as people that work there, everybody, at least where I was working, is very chill. Just try to start conversation whenever you are. If you're passing somebody, "Hey, what's up, man?" That's literally what I did. And, I became pretty cool with everybody pretty quickly, you know what I'm saying? So it's really not that hard. Just try not to, if you see somebody in a crate, which is what we call it, pretty much if they're unloading, and you're finished with your crate, just try to go over, see if they need help. People really respect when people ask for help or ask if other people need help. So just try to be a cool person, and your life will be that much easier at UPS. So as far as breaks go, you get 1 15-minute break on a 3 to 4 hour shift. Anything after that, you do get a 30-minute lunch. Me personally, I never received a lunch because I never worked past 4 hours at UPS. There is a lot of opportunities where you could pick up double shifts, and the opportunities are definitely there for people who want a little extra cash on the side. So that's another good thing. If you guys are into overtime and double shifts, the opportunities are definitely there for you guys. But I would just say, just try to get cooling with your bosses, man. And they're not going to really be on your head that much, as long as you're just doing what you're supposed to be doing. Don't always be on your phone. Me personally, I was on my phone, I was listening to music, but at the end of the day, when it was crunch time, it was crunch time. You know what I'm saying? Another thing I recommend is, try to find a podcast the night before, like a 1, 2, 3 hour long podcast. And then when you just go in, throw it on, and that really makes your day go by faster, guys. I would listen to 2, 3, 4 podcasts, per week. I would get through them, one each shift, because your shifts aren't going to be longer than maybe 4 or 5 hours. So a podcast covers more than half of that. So I would definitely recommend listening to a podcast, or just try to create a playlist that you're not really going to be going through your phone trying to switch a song. Create a playlist that you'll definitely want to stick to and listen to during the duration of your period, so you're not on your phone. Just be a cool person and people gonna be cool back to you, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna go ahead and close it up here, finishing off with what the workloads are. The workload isn't really that bad, certain days, at least during the time that I was working, we would have anywhere between 90,000 to 150,000 crates, your boxes, that we would have to push out. And when you have more than 500 people doing that about averages out to about 4 or 5 hours. So the workload really depends. It fluctuates throughout the day. Some days we will have 60,000 crates. Other days we will have 180,000 crates. So that's pretty much it. But yeah, guys, I hope I covered most of everything that everybody needed to know about what it's like to work at UPS warehouse. My position as a package handler, unloader. It definitely wasn't that hard at all. I definitely, cherish the memories that I made at UPS. And one good thing about UPS is when you quit, you're always rehirable. So even though I was seasonal, if I ever want to come back, I will definitely have another position. Like I said, you want to get cool in with your leaders, man. But yeah, guys, if you have any more questions about the UPS warehouse and what it's like to be a package handler, definitely leave them down in the comment section below. Like I said, man, this is my first video, and I appreciate you guys tuning in. Let me know what videos, and make sure you drink your water. I currently am all out, so I'm gonna go get some more water. Like I said, if you guys have any comments, make sure to leave them down below, and I'll see you guys next time. So if you guys wear a size 10.5, let me know. I'll ship these to you, because I don't think I'm gonna go back to UPS. So whoever wants these, you can have them.